Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to give a quick introduction to the video today. You are going to be seeing 5 different family meals that I made throughout the week. They are all really easy meals that you can do on the weeknight for your family. They are vegan plant-based meals, so if you're looking for inspiration of the kind of things you can make for that, then this is the video for you. Please do give it a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here on my channel, and please do drop a comment in the box below if you try any of these recipes or if you have any recipes that you make that are plant-based that you really would like to share. Thanks so much for watching. So this is all the ingredients you are going to need for the red lentil dal, and it's really simple. It's a one-pot job. So the ingredients that you will need are some onions. I use frozen onions just because it means I don't have to chop them and it just makes it that much easier. So onions, diced onion, so if you are chopping an onion, I would say about half a chopped onion. I don't like it, too much onion in there, but it obviously forms a nice base. Then I've got 3 cups of water, which I think is about a pint. I've got some spinach, which comes in right at the end, some dried red lentils, a can of coconut milk. I've gone for the reduced fat one, some garlic paste, or you can mince a garlic clove. I've got some turmeric, chopped tomatoes, some tomato paste. The only other spice that actually I've just realized that I'm out of, which is really not vital but does really give that dal flavor, is cumin, ground cumin. So definitely add that if you've got it. And then also at the back here I've got a tin of chickpeas, which is an optional extra. So sort of around the time that you add in the spinach at the end, if you want to just sort of plump it out with even more protein and added goodness, you can add in a tin of chickpeas as well. Over here I thought I would just show you things that are going to accompany the meal at the end. So I've got some diced mango, some plain coconut yogurt and a lime. And then over here I will also show you how to make a really simple vegan naan bread using just ground almonds, salt and water, and it is so delicious. So these are the ingredients you need, and I will show you how I do it. So you just want to get a sort of largish pan, and I have just put a little bit of the water into the bottom to cook off this onion. I try not to use oil, don't use it much in cooking. I use it a bit with my kids just to give sort of some added calories, but it's really not necessary when you're cooking, and water works just as well. So I've just put it onto kind of a medium to high heat, and I'm just putting in, like I say, about half a chopped onion, not too much. I don't want it to overpower. So the onions have cooked off a little bit, so I'm now going to just go in with the water, turn the heat up to get that boiling, and also in with my coconut milk, like that. I'm going to get it boiling, and then I will add my lentils. So this was 2 cups of dry split red lentils, which I have rinsed in a sieve first, and then I will be adding them into here. And then I am going to leave this bubbling and cooking for about 10 minutes, and then come back to it and add the tomato and some spices. Oh, I forgot to add the garlic. The garlic should have been added sort of around about the time of the onion, but it really doesn't matter. It will be fine, just stirred in like that. So leave this bubbling for 10 minutes. Once it's sort of bubbling quite ferociously, just turn down the heat so you've got a bit more of a simmer, otherwise it will sort of boil over and boil too quickly. While I'm just waiting for those lentils to simmer, I thought I'd just show you what I'm going to sort of team up the lentil dal with. So I've got some quinoa here. This is some pearl quinoa, but any kind of quinoa will do, the white one or the black one or a mixture. And quinoa is very similar to rice to make it, so sort of 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water into a saucepan, and then boil it for around 12 minutes, and then you can sieve it and fluff it up.
And it's just a really nice alternative to rice because it's sort of protein rich. So probably Grayson, my 1-year-old, really loves that, and so do I, so I'll do that for us. And then for my bigger boys and hubby, I will do some rice. I've got some packet rices here just in the microwave, the plain basmati run, and also the coconut rice, which is so nice. My baby actually really enjoys this one as well. It's got a lovely coconut texture. It's quite sticky, and it will go nicely with the lentil dal. So this has been simmering for 10 minutes, and I'm now just going to add in 1 tin of chopped tomatoes and about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, but I'm just gonna guess it here. You don't have to add the tomatoes instantly. You can just have the coconut milk and the water. But because this is kind of for the whole family, and the kids tend to quite like a tomato-based dish, that's why I am adding in the tomatoes, just to give it that added flavour. And then let it simmer again. And really it's kind of down to how quickly it cooks when you're doing it. So I just want to make sure that the lentils are not crunchy, so you can tell when they've gone nice and soft and absorbed most of the liquid. So it still at the end should have kind of a sloppy texture, but not be too runny. So I'm going to leave this simmering for another 10 minutes, and then I'll let you know kind of where it's at. If you are adding in these tomatoes at this stage, after that first 10 minutes, do also add in your spices. So that's your cumin and your turmeric. You can also add in some curry powder if you'd like that sort of spice. But cumin and turmeric are kind of the 2 main ones. Ginger also works quite well, about a teaspoon or so. So in total, it's been simmering for about 15 minutes. And I'm just going in with a kind of big handful of spinach, a bit more, because it's going to wilt right down into there, and it just adds that nice extra bit of greens. You can chop it up finely if you want. You could definitely chop it up finer than this, but this will wilt right down, so hopefully the kids won't have too much of a problem with it. So just while the dal is finishing simmering, I've put the quinoa on to boil. The rice packets don't only take 2 minutes in the microwave. And I just wanted to show you how to make this really easy 3-ingredient naan bread. I found this recipe from John Venus, who is like a vegan bodybuilder on Instagram. And it's my most favorite recipe because it's so tasty. So you just need 1 1/4 cups of the ground almond flour, and you need ½ a teaspoon of salt and 1/3 cup of water. So mix the almond flour and the salt in a bowl, and then you just mix the flour and the water together, and you just form a big dough ball, and then you just break off little pieces and form little mini dough balls, and then you're just going to fry them in a dry hot pan, flatten them down, fry them a few minutes on each side, and you'll have naan bread. So I've got a really hot pan, and I've just put in the little round dough ball of the almond flour mixed with the water. I'm just pressing it down just to the thickness that I want it, just with my fingers, which isn't probably the best. And I will get a spatula, and in a minute, when it's cooked a little bit on one side, I will flip it over and cook it on the other side, and then you'll just get a few little mini naan breads. So once it's cooked on one side, I just flip it over and then pat it down a bit, and it's sort of getting a bit char-grilled like that. It's easier to sort of flatten once it's been cooking a little bit and lost some of that stickiness. So I will cook it on that side, then I might flip it over again once more for luck, and then I will plate it up. It doesn't look the best, but it tastes so good. Dipped in a bit of dal with a bit of the coconut yogurt and a bit of mango. Really, really nice. And this is our dinner all plated up. So I've got the 3 boys here, and then I've got my hubby, and I've got mine kind of to one side, and then I've diced up the mango. I've got the naan breads that I made, and then can add a squeeze of lemon over the top, and then I'm going to grab the coconut yogurt out of the fridge, and they can kind of put some dollops on top of that. But that is a really quick 1 pan, other than the rice, meal that is is super nutritious, and you can kind of tweak the lentil dal recipe how you like. Like I say, I added the tomatoes in, that's why it's kind of more of an orange colour, but you don't have to. It can be more of the classic dal if you want to. I hope that you try this one out. If you do, let me know, and I hope that your whole family enjoys it. So this is dinner idea number 2. This is what I am cooking up tonight, and this is literally all the ingredients that you need. So again, it's really simple, not a lot of kind of clearing up or stuff to do. So it's just basically a sausage casserole. It will be a vegan sausage casserole because I will be using these Linda McCartney's vegan sausages. I will probably use 2 packs of this because I'm feeding 5 of us. So you just need some chopped onion. I use the frozen onion. You need about a punnet of mushrooms. These are just the chestnut mushrooms, 1 red pepper, the sausages, and then this will be what I'll serve with the sausage casserole, which is some mash. And I use these red potatoes, boil them up, and then I mash them with a little bit of soy milk and maybe a little bit of butter. And I sometimes add some nutritional yeast into there, which kind of gives a bit of a cheesy flavour and also has some added B12 in it. And then I might also do some green beans and peas on the side, which I've got frozen. So I actually chose some red onion in the end rather than the white onion. I just feel like red onion goes kind of better with sausages and the peppers and stuff, and might just work better in the sausage casserole. So I had some frozen red onion in the freezer as well, so I've just used some of that. So I've got a big block here that just needs to defrost, and I am just frying it all off in, like I said, in some water. But you can use olive oil or oil if you want to, but water works just fine, just a splash, and you can fry it off and it kind of caramelizes a little bit. So this is the sausage casserole out of the oven now. So I'm going to give it a stir up and then serve it up. I've just got some mash boiling and some peas. So this is the sausage casserole all dished up with the mashed potato and some peas and some crusty rolls. And that is for my 1-year-old and my 6 and 4-year-olds. Welcome to dinner number 3. This is a really nice, quick dinner that the kids love. And I just felt in need of one of those tonight. So I will show you what we are making. We are doing pizzas with the kids making all the toppings, popping all the toppings on themselves. So we are using these pizza bases, which are vegan. So they've already got tomato sauce on them, but we sometimes add a bit more sauce on as well. So what I do is I give I pop one on the pizza tray, one for each boy, and then I let them go crazy with the toppings, and they can pop whatever they like on. So here we've just got some pasta sauce. I use this one, which is the no added sugar Dolmio tomato and basil sauce. Zach likes that, but Eduardo likes the pesto, so I use that vegan pesto. And then there is some Violife, this one, the Violife grated cheese to pop on top. I've got some orange pepper. I've got a friend there. I've got some sliced up tofu frankfurter, some sweet corn, some sliced black olives, and some cherry tomatoes. And then I also like to sprinkle on, before they put their toppings on, I sprinkle some of this underneath the sauce, which is nutritional yeast, and it is a gives like a cheesy taste. It's like these little flakes, which are really high in protein and fibre, and they also have added B12. So I try and sprinkle this on each and every meal that I can for the boys. So I'm going to call them now, and they can make their pizzas. Yeah!
So this dinner is a vegan mac and cheese, which is so easy to make, and this cheese sauce honestly is like a real cheesy sauce. It's amazing. I'm just checking the monitor because this is when I get a chance to actually make things when Grayson is napping. So for this recipe to make the cheesy sauce, you're actually going to boil up a couple of potatoes and a carrot, and that is going to form the basis to the sauce. It sounds crazy, but trust me. You're going to need some macaroni. Obviously you can use any pasta, but macaroni works best. It sticks nicely to the cheesy sauce. And then the sauce is going to also have some garlic, some turmeric, a little bit of lemon juice, some cashews, and some nutritional yeast there. And that is all going to go in a blender, and it's going to be blended up to make the sauce. So here I'm just boiling up that carrot which I chopped up and the 2 potatoes. Boil them until they are soft. Then I'm just getting some spinach ready, which I'm going to actually stir through at the very end. So I'm chopping it up finely, and then right at the end, because spinach takes no time to really cook down, I'm going to literally stir it through the pasta just to get some added greens in really. So I tend to just sort of scrunch up a handful of baby spinach and then just slice it up like this into sort of thin shreds, just mainly so that the children don't complain that there's sort of big bits of leaves in their mac and cheese. So chopping it up both ways, just turning it round to get it as small as possible, and then I will just put that to one side ready to stir through at the end. I'm also just slicing up a tofu frankfurter here, and this I will also just stir through at the end when I do the spinach. Once the potato and carrot has boiled, I just sieve it, and then I am going to pop that into the blender along with all the other ingredients. So here is the carrot and the potato, and then I also add in the garlic, the lemon juice, the nutritional yeast and the cashews. And also I add half a cup of water. And I'm then going to blend that on high until it makes a really nice thick sauce. So here is the cheesy sauce. It's really amazing. It has that lovely colour from the turmeric and obviously the carrots and the potato anyway. And now I'm just boiling up the macaroni. And here's some broccoli that I'm going to put on the side. I've sieved the macaroni, so I'm going to now just pour that cheese sauce. Wow, look how thick that is. It's so, so yummy. So I'm just pouring the cheese sauce over and just heating it up a little bit. That was the spinach that I've added in there, mixing that all together. And then I'll just pop in the tofu frankfurter as well, give it another mix, and that is it. It's ready to go. It is such a kid-friendly meal. So this is a vegan mac and cheese that you can literally make in no time, and it is so delicious. Here it is in all its glory, and the kids really, really love this one. So here it is all dished up. I've got the big panda plate for my biggest boy, that's Zach's portion there, and then I've got the monkey plate for my middle boy Eduardo, and this little lamb is for Grayson. We're having some cherry tomatoes and broccoli on the side. So I'm just giving Grayson his one. He uses these fantastic bamboo plates, which have an amazing suction, which is 100% necessary, otherwise he flings it all on the floor. And then this is Zach's dinner and Eduardo's as well. I'm just going to call them up to the table now and get on with eating this delicious meal. So we've made it to day 5 of our weekly family dinner. We've just got back from the school run and the heavens opened. We were drenched, so I've just chucked them into a nice hot bath, the boys that is, and now I'm coming down here, and luckily it's a fairly easy one tonight, so I will show you what we're having. So tonight we are having fajitas. So this is fajitas vegan style. I think everyone does their fajitas slightly differently, don't they? So yes, I'll show you what we're doing. So obviously I've got the tortilla wraps. I've got a big family pack of those. And then for the kind of chicken alternative, I'm using this range, the Vivera plant chicken tenders. And these are really easy to cook. They're either just a few minutes in a frying pan or a few minutes in the oven. And they're just like that, kind of thin tenders that I think I will cook, and then I will then slice up into kind of strips. I will also fry up some peppers and some mushrooms and also some red onion that I've got in the freezer, and have that little mix. And oh, let me just show you one more thing. So this is the fajita seasoning that I will put in when I'm frying up all the veg, and I also end up using often a little bit of pasta sauce or a little bit of just plain passata, just to give it that sauciness. So once that's done, then we can put them in our wraps, and in the wraps I'm going to do some shredded up iceberg lettuce, some grated Violife dairy-free cheese, and then I've got hummus here. I can make a guacamole with some avocado and some lime. I've also got these little cornichons because Zach really likes pickles, and I'll serve it all up with some of these wedges on the side. So I'm going to start making that now.